Welcome to Potato Recap. Warning. Spoilers ahead. The story opens with absolute, heart-pounding tension in Chandler, Arizona. Idealistic FBI Special Agent Kate Macer and her loyal partner, Reggie Wayne, lead a high-stakes SWAT raid on a heavily fortified safe house belonging to the brutal Sonora Cartel. After a chaotic gunfight, the team makes a stomach-turning discovery: dozens of decaying, plastic-wrapped corpses hidden behind the drywall. The horror peaks when a booby-trapped shed in the backyard detonates, killing 2 police officers. This shocking incident shatters Kate's world and establishes the terrifying, lawless nature of the enemy they are up against. Desperate for real justice, Kate is called into a high-level meeting by her boss, Dave Jennings. There, she meets Matt Graver, a flippant, flip-flop-wearing Department of Defense consultant who is putting together an elite, interagency task force. Matt offers Kate a spot on the team to go after the men responsible for the safe house bombing. She volunteers immediately, leaving a hesitant Reggie behind. On a private jet to El Paso, Kate is introduced to the intensely enigmatic Alejandro Gillick. Alejandro claims to be a former Mexican prosecutor, but his quiet demeanor, trembling hands during nightmares, and lethal aura suggest a far more dangerous background. The narrative shifts gears as the task force launches a highly illegal, heavily armed extraction mission into Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, a war zone locals call the Beast. Accompanied by Delta Force operators, their goal is to extract Guillermo, a high-ranking cartel lieutenant. The tension builds to a boiling point as their 5-black SUV convoy attempts to return to the U.S. through the packed, claustrophobic lanes of the El Paso border checkpoint. Cartel hitmen surround them in traffic, drawing weapons. In a split second, ruthlessly efficient firefight, Matt, Alejandro, and the operators liquidate the threat. Kate is forced to kill a corrupt Mexican federal police officer in self-defense, leaving her utterly traumatized and furious at the task force's wild, lawless tactics. Back on American soil, a shell-shocked Kate confronts Matt, demanding to know what they are actually doing. Matt bluntly explains that their objective isn't to make arrests, it is to shake the tree and cause enough chaos to force the cartel's top boss, Fausto Alarcón, back to Mexico. Shortly after, Kate watches in horror from a distance as Alejandro uses brutal, unconstitutional torture tactics on Guillermo to extract the location of a secret cartel smuggling tunnel. Kate tries to disrupt their illegal financial disruptions by investigating a bank used by cartel Lieutenant Manuel Diaz to launder money, but Matt fiercely orders her to stand down, warning her that she is exposing herself to immense danger. Frustrated and feeling completely used, Kate blows off steam at a local bar with Reggie. There, Reggie introduces her to Ted, a charismatic local Phoenix police officer. Kate and Ted flirt, dance, and eventually head back to her apartment. However, mid-intimacy, Kate spots a specific rubber band in Ted's possession, the exact type used to bundle the laundered cartel money she saw at the bank. Realizing he is a corrupt cop sent to eliminate her, a brutal, desperate struggle ensues. Ted overpowers and begins to strangle Kate to death. Just before she loses consciousness, Alejandro bursts into the room, subduing Ted. It is revealed that Matt and Alejandro used Kate as bait to flesh out the cartel's local assassins. The operation reaches its tactical climax at dusk near Nogales, Arizona. As the team prepares to raid the cartel's smuggling tunnel, Matt finally drops the ultimate truth on Kate and Reggie. The CIA legally cannot operate inside U.S. borders without a domestic law enforcement agency attached. Kate was recruited solely to act as a legal rubber stamp for their Black Ops mission. Despite Reggie begging her to walk away, a defiant Kate joins the raid to see the truth for herself. Under the cover of night and infrared vision, a chaotic, bloody gunfight erupts inside the subterranean tunnel. Kate follows Alejandro through the darkness, only to witness him break off from the team and kidnap Silvio, a corrupt Mexican police officer who moonlights as a cartel drug mule. When Kate tries to arrest Alejandro at gunpoint, he cold-bloodedly shoots her in her ballistic vest, subduing her and escaping into Mexico with Silvio. At the surface, a bruised Kate punches Matt, who finally explains the grand geopolitical strategy. The U.S. government knows they cannot stop the drug trade, so their goal is to return the market to a single, easily controlled entity, the Medellin cartel. Alejandro is a Sicario, hitman, hired by Medellin to assassinate Fausto Alarcón. Alejandro's motive is intensely personal. Alarcón previously ordered the horrific murder of Alejandro's wife and daughter. Using Silvio as a pawn, Alejandro intercepts Manuel Diaz's car and forces Diaz to drive him directly to Alarcón's heavily guarded estate. Slipping inside like a ghost, Alejandro confronts Alarcón at his dinner table alongside his wife and 2 young sons. With chilling, quiet malice, Alejandro executes Alarcón's family right in front of him before killing the cartel kingpin himself. A few days later, Alejandro quietly slips into Kate's apartment. He presents her with a document certifying that the entire operation was conducted strictly by the book, legitimizing the lawless violence. When Kate tearfully refuses to sign, Alejandro gently but terrifyingly places a handgun beneath her chin, telling her that refusing would be committing suicide. Broken, disillusioned, and realizing her legalistic morals have no power in this shadow war, Kate signs the papers. Before walking out into the night, Alejandro looks down at her and delivers a haunting final piece of advice. She needs to move to a small town where the rule of law still exists, because she is not a wolf, and this world is now ruled by wolves. The film closes on a soccer match in Juarez, briefly interrupted by the distant, casual sound of gunfire, proving the cyclical violence rolls on.